Ladies, I want to remind you today that you are wonderfully made. You don't have to strive to be something you're not or compare yourself to someone else. The right man is not looking for the world's version of beauty. He's looking for the deeper, lasting beauty that shines from the inside out. Let me tell you, true beauty is not just about looks. It's about how you carry yourself, how you treat others, and the light you bring into a room. That's what makes a woman unforgettable. There are three things that men truly find beautiful in a woman, and when you embrace them, you'll not only attract the right kind of love, but you'll also step into the confidence and grace that you were created to walk in. We live in a world that constantly tells us what beauty should look like. Everywhere you turn, there's a new standard. Magazine covers, social media, movies, all portraying an image of perfection that often feels impossible to attain. But the truth is, beauty is not something that can be measured by a dress size, a flawless complexion, or the latest fashion trends. Real beauty, the kind that lasts, the kind that draws people in and makes them remember you, is something much deeper. It's not just about what's on the outside. It's about the light you carry within you. It's about the energy, confidence, and kindness that radiate from your spirit. Physical beauty may catch someone's eye, but it's inner beauty that captures the heart. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who, at first glance, wasn't what the world would call stunning? But the more you got to know them, the more beautiful they became. Maybe it was their laugh, their warmth, or the way they made others feel seen and valued. That's the kind of beauty that leaves a lasting impression. Looks may fade, trends may change, but a beautiful heart, a loving spirit, and a confident presence, those things never go out of style. When a woman knows her worth and carries herself with confidence, she naturally attracts people to her. It's not about arrogance or thinking you're better than others. It's about recognizing that you have something valuable to offer. You don't have to prove yourself, chase after validation, or try to fit into a mold that wasn't made for you. A woman who walks into a room with quiet confidence, who holds her head high, who isn't afraid to be herself, that is a woman people admire. Men are drawn to women who are secure in who they are, not because of what they wear, but because of the energy they bring. This is why some of the most admired women in history weren't just known for their looks, but for their character. Think of women like Audrey Hepburn, who was not only known for her beauty, but for her kindness, her grace, and her humanitarian work. Or Maya Angelou, whose wisdom and warmth made her radiant. These women left a mark on the world because their beauty wasn't just skin deep. It was something that touched people's lives. They understood that beauty is about making others feel loved, valued, and inspired. That's what true beauty is, something that goes beyond the surface and impacts those around you. Men, especially those who are looking for something real and lasting, recognize this. A man who truly values you is not just looking at your appearance. He's looking at your spirit, your heart, and how you treat others. A beautiful face may turn heads, but a beautiful soul turns a house into a home, a conversation into a connection, and a relationship into something meaningful. This is why you don't need to strive for the world's approval or constantly chase after external validation. When you focus on nurturing your heart, your mind, and your spirit, you naturally exude a beauty that no makeup or outfit can replicate. Another powerful thing about inner beauty is that it gives you peace. When your confidence is rooted in your character and not just in your reflection, you don't have to live in fear of losing your beauty. You don't have to stress about aging, about looking perfect all the time, or about meeting unrealistic standards. There is nothing wrong with taking care of yourself, dressing well, or enjoying makeup. Those things can be fun and empowering, but your worth is not dependent on them. When your true beauty comes from within, you will always feel beautiful, no matter what season of life you're in. So if you ever feel like you don't measure up, like you're not enough, or like you need to change yourself to be loved, remember this. Real beauty is already inside of you. Remember this. Real beauty is already inside of you. It's in the way you encourage others, the way you stand strong through challenges, the way you light up when you talk about something you're passionate about. It's in your kindness, your warmth, and the way you make people feel when they're around you. That's the kind of beauty that never fades, never loses value, and never goes unnoticed by the right person. In a world where people often focus on external beauty, wealth, or status, it's easy to forget that one of the most attractive qualities in a woman is not something you can see, it's something you can feel. A kind and joyful spirit is a magnet for genuine love, friendship, and admiration. When a woman carries herself with kindness, when she chooses to spread joy rather than negativity, she becomes truly unforgettable. Beauty may catch the eye, but warmth and kindness capture the heart. A joyful presence is what makes a person truly radiant, and no amount of makeup, designer clothing, or wealth can replace that. Think about the people who leave a lasting impression on you. It's not always the most physically beautiful ones. It's the ones who make you feel good when you're around them. It's the person who smiles at you when you're having a bad day. The one who speaks words of encouragement when you're feeling down. The one who carries a positive energy that lifts up those around them. A woman who walks in joy and kindness creates an atmosphere where others feel safe, valued, and appreciated. That's the kind of beauty that men and people in general find deeply attractive. Men are drawn to women who bring peace, not drama. Life is already filled with challenges, pressures, and stress. And the last thing anyone wants is to come home to more negativity. A woman who has a joyful heart, who chooses to see the good in situations, and who uplifts rather than tears down, that is a woman who will always be cherished. This doesn't mean you have to be happy all the time or ignore your emotions. It simply means that you make a conscious choice to focus on the good, to speak life into situations, and to bring positivity wherever you go. Joy is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about having a grateful heart even in imperfect situations. A joyful woman doesn't need everything to be going right in order to be happy. She finds happiness in the little things. She appreciates the beauty of a sunset, the warmth of a good conversation, the comfort of laughter shared with loved ones. This kind of joy is contagious. It makes people want to be around you, and it makes a man feel like his world is brighter just because you're in it. On the other hand, negativity is draining. A woman who constantly complains, gossips, or focuses on what's wrong rather than what's right can push people away without realizing it. Everyone goes through hardships, and it's okay to express frustration, sadness, or disappointment. But when a woman chooses to dwell in negativity rather than rise above it, it creates an energy that is heavy and unattractive. Men don't just look at how a woman treats them. They also watch how she treats others. A woman who is kind, who speaks well of people, and who carries herself with grace even in difficult situations stands out in the most beautiful way. Kindness is one of the rarest and most valuable traits a person can have. It's easy to be kind when life is going well, but true beauty is shown when a woman chooses kindness even when she has every reason to be bitter. It's when she forgives instead of holds grudges, when she chooses love over anger, when she responds with grace rather than resentment. This kind of beauty doesn't fade. It grows stronger over time. It's the kind of beauty that makes a man want to protect, cherish, and honor the woman who possesses it. At the end of the day, what makes a woman truly beautiful is not her material possessions, her status, or even her physical features. It's the way she makes people feel. A joyful woman brings light into dark places. A kind woman makes others feel valued. And a woman who walks in love, gratitude, and positivity creates an atmosphere that men don't want to leave. Because true beauty isn't about being admired. It's about making others feel loved. Life is not always easy. There will be storms, disappointments, and moments that test your patience, your character, and your ability to stay strong. But a woman who faces life's challenges with strength and grace carries a beauty that is rare and deeply attractive. Men are drawn to women who don't crumble under pressure, who don't let hardships define them, but instead rise above adversity with a spirit of resilience. Strength is not about being loud, aggressive, or never showing vulnerability. It's about standing firm in who you are, even when life tries to shake you. A strong woman does not mean she has to be independent to the point where she refuses love, help, or support. Real strength is knowing when to stand on your own and when to lean on those who care about you. It's about balance. A woman who carries herself with grace doesn't let her struggles turn her into someone bitter or hard-hearted. Instead, she allows challenges to shape her into someone wiser, more compassionate, and more understanding. Men deeply respect and admire a woman who has been through difficult times, but still chooses to love, to trust, and to hope. One of the most beautiful things about strength is that it doesn't have to be shown through force or control. A woman's quiet strength, her ability to remain calm in chaos, to offer wisdom instead of harsh words, to respond with patience instead of anger, speaks louder than anything else. A woman who doesn't allow negativity to dictate her actions, who can stay composed when things don't go her way, is a woman who stands out in a world filled with emotional impulsiveness. This kind of strength creates an environment of peace, and men are naturally drawn to a woman who brings that kind of stability into their lives. Grace is what makes strength truly beautiful. A woman who is strong but lacks grace can come across as intimidating, unapproachable, or even cold. But when strength is wrapped in grace, it becomes something powerful yet inviting. Grace is the ability to forgive when it's hard, to be kind even when it's undeserved, and to handle difficult conversations with wisdom rather than aggression. A woman who carries herself with grace doesn't have to prove her strength. Her actions speak for themselves. She knows when to stand firm, but she also knows when to step back and let love, patience, or understanding take the lead. A woman with a heart of strength and grace also knows how to uplift those around her. She doesn't just fight her own battles, she encourages others in their struggles as well. She speaks life into those who are weary. She stands by her loved ones in tough times, and she brings a sense of calm even in difficult situations. Men notice this. They see how a woman treats her family, her friends, and even strangers, and they are drawn to the kind of woman who carries herself with a deep sense of compassion and wisdom. Another thing that makes a woman's strength so attractive is her ability to keep moving forward. Life will bring heartbreak, disappointments, and setbacks. But a strong woman doesn't let those things define her. She allows herself to feel, to grieve, to process, but then she gets back up. She doesn't let past pain harden her heart or make her afraid of love. Instead, she learns, she grows, and she chooses to believe in good things ahead. That kind of faith, that kind of quiet confidence is incredibly beautiful. At the core of it all, a woman's strength and grace show that she knows her worth. She doesn't settle for less than she deserves. She doesn't allow negativity to consume her, and she doesn't let life's difficulties steal her joy. She faces challenges with courage, she treats others with kindness, and she walks through life with a quiet confidence that is both inspiring and deeply attractive. That's the kind of beauty that lasts, not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. One of the biggest misconceptions about relationships is that you have to work tirelessly to earn someone's love. Many women feel the pressure to prove their worth, to change their personality, appearance, or values just to fit what they think a man wants. But the truth is, real love doesn't require chasing. The right person will recognize your value without you having to constantly fight for their attention. When you are confident in who you are and refuse to settle for less than you deserve, you naturally attract the kind of love that is meant for you. There is something incredibly beautiful about a woman who knows she doesn't have to beg for love. She doesn't force relationships that aren't working. She doesn't cling to someone who isn't fully invested. And she certainly doesn't compromise her self-respect to keep someone around. Instead, she focuses on being the best version of herself, growing, learning, and living a full life. This kind of woman understands that true love is not about convincing someone to choose her. It's about being with someone who already sees her worth. Men are naturally drawn to women who are comfortable in their own skin. When a woman is secure in who she is, she radiates a quiet confidence that is far more attractive than any amount of effort spent trying to impress. She doesn't overanalyze every word. She doesn't constantly seek validation. And she doesn't try to mold herself into what someone else wants. Instead, she stands firm in her values, her personality, and her unique beauty, knowing that the right man will love her for exactly who she is. Many women make the mistake of thinking that they need to compete for a man's attention. But the truth is, the right relationship doesn't feel like a competition. If you have to constantly fight for someone to notice you, to text you back, or to invest in the relationship, then you're chasing love instead of receiving it. Real love is mutual. It's not one-sided, it's not exhausting, and it's not full of uncertainty. A man who truly values you will make an effort without you having to beg for it. This is why it's so important to focus on yourself rather than constantly searching for someone else to complete you. When you are happy with your own life, when you have passions, goals, and a sense of purpose, you naturally become more attractive. A woman who is content, joyful, and fulfilled on her own doesn't settle for less just because she's afraid of being alone. She understands that being single is not a curse. It's an opportunity to grow, to learn about herself, and to prepare for the right relationship rather than waste time on the wrong one. The women who stand out the most are the ones who are unapologetically themselves. They don't play games. They don't pretend to be someone they're not. And they don't change their standards just to keep someone interested. They trust that the right man will love them for their authenticity, not for a fake version of themselves created to win someone's approval. This kind of woman is rare, and because of that, she attracts a rare kind of love. One that is built on mutual respect, genuine connection, and deep admiration. At the end of the day, you don't have to chase, beg, or convince someone to love you. The love that is truly meant for you will come effortlessly, naturally, and without confusion. It won't require you to sacrifice your self-worth or constantly prove your value. Instead, it will recognize, appreciate, and cherish you for exactly who you are. And that, more than anything, is the kind of love that lasts. Respect is one of the most powerful qualities a woman can have. The way you carry yourself, the standards you set, and the boundaries you uphold all communicate how much you value yourself. A woman who respects herself automatically earns the respect of others, especially in relationships. She does not tolerate being treated poorly, manipulated, or taken for granted. Instead, she knows her worth and walks away from anything that doesn't align with the love, care, and commitment she deserves. This kind of self-respect is incredibly attractive because it signals confidence, strength, and a deep understanding of one's value. Many women fear that having boundaries will push people away, but the opposite is true. Boundaries create clarity in relationships. They show others how you expect to be treated and set the standard for how they should engage with you. A woman who is willing to say no when something disrespects her, who doesn't allow toxic behavior, and who refuses to settle for less than she deserves, commands admiration. Men, especially those who are serious about love, respect a woman who stands firm in her values. They know that a woman with boundaries is not desperate for attention or love. She is choosing to allow only the right kind of love into her life. There is a distinct difference between being kind and being a pushover. Some women mistake endless compromise for love, believing that constantly sacrificing their own needs will make them more desirable. But the reality is, when you consistently put others above yourself without limits, it does not make people appreciate you more. It often leads to being taken for granted. A woman who has a strong sense of self-respect understands that love should be balanced, mutual, and built on both giving and receiving. She knows that in a healthy relationship, she doesn't have to prove her worth by overextending herself. Boundaries also protect you from the wrong kind of relationships. When a woman knows what she will and won't tolerate, she naturally filters out people who are not serious about treating her well. This doesn't mean being harsh or unapproachable. It simply means having the wisdom to recognize red flags and the courage to walk away when necessary. A woman who is clear about her expectations and doesn't compromise her values for temporary affection stands out. She is someone who attracts a man who is equally serious about love and commitment. Men are naturally drawn to women who carry themselves with dignity and self-respect. A woman who refuses to engage in drama, who doesn't lower herself to negativity, and who upholds her boundaries with grace and confidence is incredibly attractive. She doesn't need to demand respect. She earns it simply by the way she conducts herself. Her strength is not in being aggressive or controlling, but in being firm yet kind, understanding yet unwavering in her values. This balance of warmth and self-assurance makes her unforgettable. Respect and boundaries also help build healthier, longer laddering relationships. When both partners respect each other's limits, they create an environment of trust and security. A woman who values herself teaches her partner how to treat her by the way she treats herself. She doesn't entertain disrespect, dishonesty, or inconsistency. Instead, she holds space for love that is rooted in mutual care, understanding, and appreciation. This kind of relationship is not built on fear or obligation, but on genuine connection and shared values. Ultimately, a woman who respects herself radiates a kind of confidence that is impossible to ignore. She doesn't chase validation, she doesn't settle for less, and she doesn't fear being alone. She knows that her worth is not determined by how much she gives to others, but by how much she honors herself. And in doing so, she naturally attracts the kind of love that sees, values, and respects her in return. In today's world, there is often pressure to be tough, independent, and always in control. While strength and confidence are incredibly attractive, many women misunderstand what true strength looks like. Femininity and softness are not weaknesses. In fact, they are powerful qualities that draw people in and create deeper connections. A woman who embraces her femininity, her kindness, her gentleness, her nurturing nature, brings a unique and irreplaceable beauty to any relationship. Men are naturally drawn to this softness, not because they see it as weakness, but because it brings balance, warmth, and peace into their lives. Femininity is not about fitting into a specific mold or conforming to outdated stereotypes. It is about embracing the qualities that make you uniquely a woman. It's the way you carry yourself with grace, the way you express love and care, the way you bring light into the lives of those around you. A woman who is in touch with her feminine nature doesn't see the need to compete with masculinity. She understands that her strength lies in her ability to complement it. She knows that being soft does not mean being passive, and being kind does not mean being weak. Many women believe that in order to be respected, they must always be assertive, aggressive, or unyielding. While there is a time and place for firmness, true confidence does not come from constantly proving yourself. It comes from knowing your worth without needing to fight for recognition. A feminine woman exudes confidence without arrogance, strength without hardness, and independence without shutting others out. This balance is incredibly attractive because it shows emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and depth. Men are naturally wired to protect, provide, and cherish. When a woman allows herself to receive love, care, and support without feeling the need to control everything, it creates a beautiful dynamic in a relationship. This doesn't mean a woman should be completely dependent on a man. Rather, it means she is secure enough in herself to embrace the natural flow of love and partnership. She understands that allowing herself to be loved, cherished, and cared for does not make her weak. It makes her wise. Softness is also a superpower when it comes to communication. Many arguments and misunderstandings happen because people react with defensiveness instead of understanding. A woman who knows how to express herself with grace, patience, and empathy is far more effective in resolving conflict than someone who approaches every situation with aggression. A gentle answer can turn away anger, and a calm spirit can bring peace to any situation. This kind of emotional intelligence is rare, and men deeply appreciate a woman who can handle challenges with wisdom and composure. It's important to note that femininity is not about suppressing your emotions or pretending to be something you're not. It's about leaning into the qualities that make you unique as a woman. Your ability to love deeply, to nurture, to bring beauty and warmth into the world. A feminine woman doesn't view her emotions as a weakness. Instead, she embraces them as a part of who she is, allowing them to guide her with wisdom rather than control her impulsively. This level of self-awareness and emotional maturity is deeply attractive to a man looking for a lifelong partner. At its core, femininity is about embracing the beauty of who you are without feeling the need to prove anything to anyone. It's about knowing that strength and softness can coexist, that confidence and grace go hand in hand, and that true power comes from being authentic. A woman who understands this does not chase love, she attracts it effortlessly. Because when a man sees a woman who is at peace with herself, who radiates kindness and grace, he sees someone he wants to protect, cherish, and stand beside for a lifetime. Life is full of ups and downs, challenges and victories, moments of joy and moments of struggle. In any relationship, both partners will face difficulties, but the attitude a woman carries through those moments makes all the difference. A woman with a positive and supportive attitude is not only attractive, she is irreplaceable. She is the kind of woman who uplifts rather than tears down, who encourages rather than criticizes, and who stands beside her partner as a source of strength and reassurance. Men are naturally drawn to women who bring light into their lives, who make them feel capable, appreciated, and supported. A woman's attitude can either create an atmosphere of peace or one of constant tension. Negativity, constant complaining, and a critical spirit can drain the energy from any relationship, making even the strongest connection feel burdensome. On the other hand, a woman who approaches life with optimism, resilience, and encouragement creates a space where love can thrive. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect, but rather choosing to focus on solutions rather than dwelling on problems. Men admire a woman who, even in difficult times, can offer words of encouragement instead of words that tear them down. Supportiveness is one of the most underrated yet powerful qualities in a woman. A man wants to feel that his partner believes in him, that she sees his potential, and that she stands by him through life's battles. A supportive woman doesn't just point out flaws or criticize mistakes. She offers guidance with love. She reassures with kindness, and she reminds her partner of his strengths when he forgets them himself. This kind of unwavering belief in someone creates deep emotional security, making the relationship stronger and more fulfilling. It's important to note that support does not mean losing yourself in someone else's life or sacrificing your own needs. A truly supportive woman is also strong and confident in her own right. She is not dependent on a man for her happiness, but she chooses to be a source of encouragement because she understands the power of a healthy, uplifting relationship. She doesn't enable bad habits or lower her standards. She simply chooses to see the best in her partner and inspires him to rise to his highest potential. This balance of encouragement and self-respect makes her incredibly attractive. A positive attitude also means knowing how to handle conflict with grace. No relationship is free of disagreements, but a woman who approaches problems with patience and understanding rather than anger and resentment creates a safe space for open communication. She doesn't attack her partner with harsh words or hold grudges. She expresses her concerns with love, seeks resolution rather than blame, and focuses on strengthening the relationship rather than proving a point. This maturity and emotional intelligence make a woman stand out in a world where so many relationships fall apart due to miscommunication and unnecessary conflict. Men are naturally drawn to women who bring joy into their lives. A woman who laughs easily, who finds beauty in small moments, and who doesn't let life's challenges steal her happiness, creates an environment that feels like home. No one wants to spend their life with someone who is constantly unhappy, bitter, or filled with negativity. A woman who chooses gratitude over complaining, who looks for the good in people, and who approaches life with a light heart is a breath of fresh air. She is the kind of woman who turns ordinary moments into beautiful memories. At the heart of it all, a positive and supportive attitude reflects a woman's inner strength. It shows that she is secure in herself, that she trusts in the goodness of life, and that she is capable of building a relationship that is filled with love, respect, and joy. A man who finds a woman like this knows he has found something rare, someone who will not only love him, but will also uplift him, inspire him, and bring out the best in him. And that is a beauty that lasts a lifetime. One of the most underrated yet essential qualities that men find beautiful in a woman is emotional maturity. While physical attraction may draw someone in, it is emotional stability and maturity that truly sustain a relationship. A woman who knows how to handle her emotions with wisdom, communicates with clarity, and responds to situations thoughtfully rather than impulsively is incredibly attractive. She doesn't let small issues turn into massive fights, nor does she allow her emotions to control her reactions. Instead, she approaches situations with a level head and a deep understanding of how to maintain harmony in a relationship. Emotional maturity is not about suppressing feelings or pretending everything is fine. It's about knowing how to navigate emotions in a way that builds rather than damages a relationship. A woman who can express how she feels without resorting to blame, drama, or unnecessary conflict shows a level of self-awareness that is rare and valuable. Men deeply appreciate a woman who can communicate her needs and concerns in a respectful, constructive way rather than through passive aggression, emotional outbursts, or manipulative behavior. This creates a safe space for open, honest, and meaningful conversation. Stability in a relationship also comes from a woman's ability to manage stress and challenges with grace. Life is full of unpredictable situations, financial difficulties, career struggles, family issues, or personal disappointments. A woman who is emotionally stable does not allow these external circumstances to dictate her entire mood or the way she treats her partner. Instead of crumbling under pressure, she finds ways to cope, adapt, and move forward. This kind of resilience is incredibly attractive because it creates a sense of security in a relationship. A man wants to know that he can rely on his partner, not just in good times, but also in difficult moments. Another important aspect of emotional maturity is the ability to let go of past hurts and not carry unnecessary baggage into a relationship. Many relationships suffer because one or both partners hold on to past wounds, allowing them to create distrust, insecurity, or resentment. A woman who has done the inner work to heal from past relationships, childhood wounds, or personal struggles shows a level of emotional intelligence that is deeply appealing. She does not allow her past to dictate her future, nor does she punish her current partner for the mistakes of those who came before him. A woman who is emotionally stable also knows how to handle disagreements without turning them into personal attacks. No relationship is free from conflicts, but the way they are handled makes all the difference. A mature woman listens as much as she speaks, seeks understanding before reacting, and values resolution over being right. She doesn't let pride, ego, or fear of vulnerability get in the way of resolving an issue. Instead, she approaches conflict with the intention of strengthening the relationship rather than tearing it down. Men deeply appreciate a woman who is consistent in her emotions. No one wants to be in a relationship where they constantly feel like they're walking on eggshells, never knowing what might trigger an argument or emotional outburst. A woman who is balanced, who doesn't let small inconveniences ruin her entire day, and who can maintain a positive, calm demeanor even when things don't go her way, is incredibly attractive. She brings peace, not chaos, into the relationship, making her presence something a man deeply values and cherishes. At the core of emotional maturity is self-love and self-awareness. A woman who understands her worth, takes responsibility for her emotions, and approaches life with a level head is someone who naturally attracts a high-quality, emotionally mature partner. Men are drawn to women who make them feel safe, valued, and respected. And when a woman embodies emotional stability, she creates a relationship that is not only beautiful on the surface, but also strong, lasting, and deeply fulfilling. True beauty is not just about how a woman looks. It's about who she is at her core. It's the way she carries herself, the way she loves, the way she nurtures and uplifts the people around her. Physical beauty may catch a man's eye, but it is inner beauty, grace, kindness, confidence, emotional maturity, and self-respect that captures her heart and keeps him coming back. A woman who knows her worth, who stands firm in her values, and who radiates warmth and positivity is truly unforgettable. The most beautiful women are not the ones who try to be perfect or who change themselves to fit someone else's expectations. They are the ones who embrace their authenticity, who love themselves first, and who attract the right kind of love by simply being who they were created to be. When a woman is at peace with herself, when she walks with confidence and joy, when she treats herself with kindness, she naturally invites that same energy into her life. If you take one thing from this message today, let it be this. You don't have to chase love. You don't have to prove your worth. You don't have to be anything other than the amazing, beautiful, and powerful woman that you already are. The right man, the man who truly sees and values you, will recognize your beauty, not just in your appearance, but in your spirit, in your heart, and in the way you light up the world around you. So keep your standards high, protect your peace, walk with confidence. Know that you are worthy of love, respect, and devotion, because when you embrace your beauty from the inside out, when you stand firm in your worth, you won't just attract any man, you'll attract the right man, the one who will cherish, honor, and love you the way you deserve.